everyone. Welcome into this day with Quimper Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We seek our place in the world and the answers to our heart's deep questions. As we seek, may our hearts be open to unexpected answers. May we be reminded that all beings are whole, sacred, and worthy. Let our hearts be welcoming of multiple truths, not holding hard or fast to closed-mindedness or judgmental thinking. What can we learn from each other in the richness of our differences? May the heart of compassion help us recognize the sacred in each other and bridge differences in these challenging times. May each of us be held in relationship, accountability, and the power of beloved community. My name is Gary Forbes. I'm a member of the board here at QUUF. As we gather, I acknowledge that the water, land, and shorelines here in Port Townsend are the traditional territories of the S'Klallam and Chimicum peoples. We honor and acknowledge our Indigenous members and neighbors and vow to help restore and sustain these homelands. If you're visiting today, I offer a special welcome and invite you to join us for refreshments and conversation in the fellowship hall after the service. We have a newcomers table near the patio doors where our greeters are ready to answer any questions you might have. Welcome to you all this morning. We're glad you're here. Also, for newcomers or those who are newish, who would like to hear a little more about our congregation and Unitarian Universalism, Reverend Linda invites you to come back into the sanctuary after you've gotten your coffee and tea. One announcement today. Our anti-racism action team holds one more UU the Vote letter writing session after the service today. They'll be in the fellowship hall with all the supplies you need to write letters to Michigan and Georgia. Also, if you have a cell phone, please remember to silence it at this point. And let's settle our minds and calm our hearts.
This is a call and response, so please follow Gretchen on the response. Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Open heart.
Open heart.
Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Open heart.
Open heart.
Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Open heart.
Open hearts.
We will sing our way to wholeness. We will sing our way to wholeness. So that last two lines are going to repeat together. So sing that unison with us next time. And we're going to change up some words. Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Tender heart.
Tender heart.
Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Tender heart.
Tender heart.
Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Tender heart.
Tender hearts.
We will sing our way to wholeness. We will sing our way to wholeness. Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Grieving heart.
Grieving heart.
Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Grieving heart.
Grieving heart.
Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Grieving heart.
Grieving hearts.
We will sing our way to wholeness. We will sing our way to wholeness. Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Loving heart.
Loving hearts.
Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Loving heart.
Loving heart.
Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Loving heart.
Loving hearts.
We will sing our way to wholeness. We will sing our way to wholeness. Welcome in.
Welcome in.
All our hearts.
All our hearts.
Welcome in.
Welcome in.
All our hearts.
All We will sing our way to wholeness. We will sing our way to wholeness.
What a nice way to start the morning. Our opening words are from my colleague, Gretchen Haley. Give up the fight for some other moment, for some other life than here, than now. Give up the longing for some other world, the wishing for choices, other choices to make, other songs to sing, other bodies, other ages, other countries, other stakes. Purge the past and forgive the future, for each come too soon. Surrender only to this life, this day, this hour. Not because it does not constantly break your heart, because it also beckons you with beauty, startles with delight. If only we keep waking up. This is the gift we have been given, these body clothes, this heartbreak, this pulse, this breath, this light, these friends, this hope. Here we remember ourselves, all a part of it all. Give thanks together. Join me in our chalice lighting words today. We're going to go responsively. Your words are, we light this chalice. For every time we make a mistake and decide to start again, we light this chalice. For every time we are lonely and let someone be our friend. We light this chalice. For every time we are disappointed and we choose to hope, we light this chalice. Let's join in singing our opening song, number 6 in the gray hymnal if you want to look, and the words will be projected up front.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, or raise that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to love.
However you are young, however you might define that. Hi, sweetie. I'm just always grateful for all y'all when you come up. I have a really fun book today. Not that I don't always have a really fun book, but there you have it. Just got to say it. So this book is called When Things Aren't Going Right, Go Left. That's how I reacted to it, too. So, here we go. Let's see where we are. There we are. One day, for no particular reason, nothing was going right. Absolutely, positively, nothing was going right. Who's with me? Who's been there? Have you had those days? I've had those days. So I decided to go left. The first thing I did, I left behind my worries. As I walked away, I thought, did I just make the right choice? Should I go back and get them? Oops. I think I missed a page. There we are. Yes. Yep, I left them right there on the ground when they looked up at me and wondered, where are you going? But I just smiled and waved. Wait, they hollered, come back. What will happen to us? I simply shrugged my shoulders. You'll be fine. As I walked away, I thought, did I make the right choice? Should I go back and get them? Doubts crept in. So you know what I did? I left behind my doubts. Yep, left them right there on the ground. They bellowed, you're making a mistake. But I just gazed at the sky. They questioned, are you sure you're making the right decision? Absolutely, I declared. With my worries and doubts left behind, I could finally think clearly. I forged on until I came to a pool and a diving board I remembered all too well. The last time I tried to dive off that diving board, I splatted on my back. Ouch! I remembered the pain and how scared I was. I started thinking, maybe I shouldn't try this again. What do you think? So you know what I did? I left behind my fears. Yep, left them right there on the ground. They screamed, don't do it! I stood up straight, shoulders back, hands pressed above my head. Stop, they cried. But I simply turned and gave them a wink. I leaped. Splat! On my back again. Oof, that stings. I thought to myself, this is impossible. It can't be done. So you know what I did? I left my frustration. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They yelled, you can't do it. Again, I stood up straight, shoulders back, hands pressed above my head. They laughed, give up already. I whispered to myself, no way, never. I leaped, feet together, toes pointed, legs straight. Perfect, I did it. I started to realize that the more I left behind, the more right I felt. So you know what I did? Yep. I kept going, and before I knew it, everything was going right. As I walked home, I glanced at the ground, and I noticed something I did not expect. My frustrations were a lot smaller. My fears, a lot quieter. My doubts, a lot calmer. My worries, practically gone. So I decided to pick them back up, and you know what? They felt lighter now. And they weren't so hard to handle anymore. And I realized it's okay to have them with me so long as I keep an eye on them and made sure that they didn't get too big or too loud or too overwhelming. But if they did, and I felt like nothing was going right again, then I would simply, say it with me, go left. When life's burdens start to feel too heavy, don't be afraid to put them down for a while. And that's our message for this morning, just remembering to put things that are heavy down. And so let's, the folks on the aisle, please rise and form an arch, and let's sing the children out to their programs. Thanks, you guys.
Peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
We pause for a time of generosity and receive an offering to support the Olympic Angels. Morgan Hanna is here to tell us about her organization.
Hey y'all, I had notes and I was thinking about, should I prepare something or should I come and just talk to you? I thought what might be helpful for me, I get nervous when I come and do these things, is I'd love to just see you raise your hand if you've known somebody who went through the foster care system. I want you to raise your hand if you saw them struggle. I would love for you to raise your hand if they had amazing support. I wasn't expecting that. Nobody raised a hand. We exist so that anybody going through foster care has amazing support. We started this because what was happening in Port Townsend in particular with foster care was really, really hard on kids. I met 4 girls. They were all aging out of care in 1 year. They just happened to all be girls. And I'd ask them to go meet them downtown. I would buy them a slice of pizza at Waterfront, and I would just talk to them to see what was happening in their lives as they were aging from the foster care system and into independence. And I was actually looking around to make sure there were no little kids here, because if we were to talk really plainly about what happened to each of these 4 girls, it's not fit for little kids' ears, right? It's what we see nationally happening to our children when they leave the foster care system. 2 of them had babies that also went into foster care. One of them died. She died about a month after leaving her foster home. And this one became immediately homeless. This one, when I talked to her about how she had her housing, she was trading sex for housing. So it's just like really, really rough outcomes for 4 local girls, and we only had 4. We didn't have 500. We weren't King County, right? We were Jefferson County. And so I thought, how did we do that with 4 kids when we knew who they were when they were 12? We knew who they were when they were 16. Why did we not do better for them at 9? What could we do different? And I found National Angels. National Angels allowed me to come on board for a year just as a volunteer under Seattle Angels, because they didn't even have in their vision that we could do this in a rural place. They had LA Angels or Atlanta Angels or Bakersfield Angels, Chicago, but never did they think about Port Townsend, right? We didn't even know to call it, is it Jefferson County Angels? We became Olympic Angels eventually, but first, we piloted it. We just walked the walk for a year to see what different support could make. We do it in 2 programs. One program, we put a group of people around one fostering family, and they walk alongside that family, whatever comes throughout at least a year. But really, it's for life because it's about relationships. The second program, we do it one-on-one, same concept. It's a walk alongside. I'm in this with you. I'm not going to leave you. What do you need? What is housing going to look like? How are you on track to graduate? What would it take to get you on track to graduate? The way we do it is through volunteers like you. In a small community, this can have radical outcomes, right? Because there's only 4, right? Or there's only 10, or there's only 15 households. If we can do it in a small place, we can actually transform the way foster care is experienced by the people that are doing the fostering, and the kids that go through it. It scares me to come and talk to y'all because I'm afraid I'm just going to talk over or through or anything, but what I want you to hear is that this is working, and it's working because of people like you. QUF has been our most important faith partner, and y'all have been with us since before we were a thing. Many of you are our volunteers, and I'm very grateful for you. So that's all I really have to say, and I just really appreciate John in particular because he's just been so welcoming. So thank y'all for y'all's generosity and your time. Thanks.
The ushers will come upon you to receive the offering for Olympic Angels. Additional ways will be projected. Please join me in our offering words. This fellowship is the community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm our lives within it.
You start. I'll join you.
You sing. Okay.
This world, this world.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. What are we singing here?
Brave this world with your heart. Be open and brave this world. Brave this world with your heart. Be open and brave this world. Brave this world with your heart. Stay open and brave this world. Brave this world with your heart. Stay open and brave this world. Brave this world with your heart. Stay open and brave this world. Brave this world with your heart. Stay open and brave this world. Brave this world with your heart. Stay open and brave this world. Brave this world. Brave this world with your heart. Stay open and brave this world. Brave this world. Brave this world with your heart. Stay open and brave this world. Stay open and brave this world.
We set aside time each week to acknowledge, to share joys and sorrows, and we begin by acknowledging something in the larger world, because what we share here is only a fragment of that larger community of life. So we place our first stone today, thinking in particular of the family and community of Amber Thurman and Candy Miller. 2 black mothers who died as a result of the abortion ban in Georgia. And now within the congregation, Maria Mendez and Joe Blair, co-facilitators of Native Connections, are grateful to be witness to the installation of a mural, bumbly today, co-created by Hoh tribal elders, volunteers, and Native Connection member Danielle Fordor, the muralist. They also appreciate the new old-time Chautauqua, whose collaboration with the Hoh has aided them in their efforts to build a relationship with the Hoh tribe of West Jefferson County. And we place a final stone, holding in our hearts these joys and sorrows, but also thinking of those joys and sorrows which are unexpressed but of no less importance. Thank you. We're doing something a little different for our meditation today. I had an email this week from a member of the congregation who is facing health challenges. And she noted that there were several folks, a good number of folks, who are having health challenges and other challenges, and asked if we might, as a congregation, send light out to those people. So we're going to sing together as part of our meditation. It's Melanie DeMoore's beautiful song, "I Am Sending You Light," which some of you may know. And what I'd like you to do, we're going to sing the chorus 3 times through. And then the first time that we're singing it, I would invite you to send light to someone in particular who may need a little extra love and a little extra support and a little extra care. And then when we sing it through the second time, I want you to send it out just more broadly in the world. Send the light to wherever it might be needed. We may not know where that is. And then the third time you sing it through, sing it to yourself. Send light into your own heart. So, friends.
I am sending you light. I am sending you light.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter where you go, no matter where you've been, you'll never walk alone. I feel you deep within. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter what you feel or what you choose to show, I'm always there with you. And so I want you to know that I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I walk the path with you. Go slow, dear one, don't hurry. I'll go just like you need to go. There is no need to worry. And I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. Yes, I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
Our first reading today is a poem, The Fact of Life, by Padraig O Tuama. Listen, that you were born and you will die, that you sometimes love enough and sometimes not, that you will lie, if only to yourself, that you will get tired, that you will learn most from the situations you did not choose, that there will be some things that move you more than you can say, that you will live, that you must be loved, that you will question, that you will avoid questions most urgently in need of your attention, that you began as the fusion of a sperm and an egg of two people who were once strangers and still may be, that life isn't fair, that life is sometimes good and sometimes even better than good, that life is often not so good, that life is real, and if you can survive it well, survive it well, with love and art and meaning given where meaning's scarce, that you will learn to live with regret, that you will learn to live with respect, that the structures that constrict you may not be permanently constricting, that you will probably be okay, that you must accept change before you die, but you will die anyway. So you might as well live. You might as well love. You might as well love. You might as well love.
There's been a slight change. The second reading is a poem written by Maggie Smith called Good Bones. Life is short, though I keep this from my children. Life is short, and I've shortened mine in 1,000 delicious ways, ill-advised ways. 1,000 delicious, ill-advised ways that I keep from my children. The world is at least 50% terrible. And that's a conservative estimate. Though I keep this from my children. For every bird, there is a stone thrown at a bird. For every loved child, a child is broken, bagged, sunk in a lake. Life is short, and the world is at least half terrible. And for every kind of strangers, there is one who would break you. Though I keep this from my children. I'm trying to sell them the world. Any decent realtor walking through a real disaster chirps on about good bones. This place could be beautiful, right? You can make this place beautiful.
May I be open to things as they are right now, because this is how things are right now. May I be open to things as they are right now, because this is how things are right now. May I be open to things as they are right now, because this is how things are right now. May I be open to things as they are right now, because this is how things are right now.
Remember
May I be
breath.
open to things
Remember
as
the
they
body.
are right now,
Remember the
because
goodness
this is how
that
things
you
are right
carry.
now.
Remember
May
the
I be
breath.
open to things
Remember
as
the
they
body.
are right now,
Remember the
because this is how
goodness that
things
you
are right
carry.
now.
Remember the breath. Remember the body. Remember the goodness that you carry. Remember the breath. Remember the body. Remember the goodness that you carry. May I be open to things as they are right now, because this is how things are right now. May I be open to things as they are right now, because this is how things are right now. Remember
May
the
I be
breath.
open to things
Remember
as
the
they
body.
are right now,
Remember the
because
goodness
this is how
that
things
you
are
carry.
right now.
Remember
May
the
I
breath.
be open to things
Remember
as
the
they
body.
are right now,
Remember the
because
goodness
this is how
that
things
you
are right
carry.
now.
Remember
May I
the
be
breath.
open to things as
The
they are
body.
right now,
Remember the
because this is
goodness
how
that
things
you
are right
carry.
now.
Remember
May
the
I be
breath.
open to things
Remember
as
the
they are
body.
right now,
Remember the
because this is
goodness
how
that
things
you
are right
carry.
now. May I be open to things as they are right now, because this is how things are right now. May I be open to things as they are right now, because this is how things are right now. Remember the breath. Remember the body. Remember the goodness that you carry. Remember the breath. Remember the body. Remember the goodness that you carry.
The jazz hands keep getting bigger as the service moves along. I just want to lift up again what Gary mentioned at in the announcements, that I'm going to come back in here after the service, and if you have questions, if you're relatively new, if you've been around for a while, you can come too. But just a time for some questions and answers about UUism and about our congregation, if you're interested. So our topic for this month in Soul Matters, that's the theme-based system that's guiding our worship, our small groups, our religious education for children and youth. Our topic is welcome. You may have picked this up already. When I spoke about this 2 weeks ago, I noted that welcome is a practice. It is building a capacity to be open to what comes to us in life, to let it in, be it a happy thing or something tinged with sorrow. That openness is not easy, especially in those moments that are challenging and painful. You know, I think about welcome as a word, as a concept, as something that's happy and warm. A feeling extended to friends and strangers is where most of us go when we think of the word welcome. That cheery word emblazoned on the wall of the airport as you make your way to your destination. what your friends say when they arrive at your home for a meal or another gathering. We welcome babies. Hallelujah. And when a beloved brings a new partner to meet us, it's all hugs and smiles and welcome. So happy to be with each other, right? Welcome is a good thing. And yet, included in the packet of materials was this poem from Padraig Otuamas, and he shares some hard truths about our lives. He says that you will lie, if only to yourself, that you will get tired, that you will learn most from the situations you do not choose, that you will live, that you must be loved, that you will avoid questions most urgently in need of your attention. Makes me squirm a little bit. Can you relate? That uncomfortable truth of our mortality. Here's another bit that hits hard. That you must accept change before you die, but you will die anyway. I mean, seriously, who made these rules? Right? Who made these rules? I'm not sure I agree. But it's the case that one of the things that all of us have to come to terms with is the stunning vulnerability of being human and the lack of control that is woven into our lives. Some years ago, I took a course that was supposed to help me get more focused and organized. It's a long project that I've been part of. And this particular course was based on a book by Robert Keegan and Lisa Leahy called Immunity to Change. Anybody familiar with this? Just curious. Yeah, okay. Oh no, you were just scratching. Never mind. Just timed that really well. Anyhow, in this book and in the course, they described that there were, aren't there always, simple steps that would help you overcome the barriers that allow you to engage in deep and lasting change. But the truth is, what I came away from that class with was a sudden terror around driving. Kind of a quirky thing. It was not really helpful to me at that time because I was serving the congregation in Marysville, where I had a small apartment, and weekly I would drive between Olympia, where my family home was, and Marysville a couple of times a week. So I spent a lot of time on I-5 at that time, and it was really not helpful to be getting a little terrified about driving. So how that happened is Dr. Keegan illustrated our ability to change by likening it to the capacity to overcome fear and resistance to driving. All of us, he suggested, overcome our fears every time we get into a car and drive somewhere. Think of it, he said. We climb into these metal tubes, and then we propel them at high speeds next to, and sometimes driving toward, other tubes going at high speeds. Has it occurred to you how dangerous this is? After listening to his description, all I could think about when I was driving on I-5 was the fact that I was in a metal tube going at high speeds, heading towards other cars going at high speeds. And while I was not paralyzed, I went weeks and weeks feeling tight in my chest, all that anxiety, and had that sinking feeling you get in your stomach. What was I thinking? Human beings aren't made to do this. And part of that is the startling fragility that comes clear when you think about that. It got much more clear for us, for my family, some months later when Peter was driving my little Toyota Yaris home from Marysville. He was in the far left-hand lane as he drove through Joint Base Lewis McChord, that area. And a woman holding a cigarette and a cell phone changed lanes into him. She pushed him into the barrier that was there. She didn't slow down. She didn't stop to see if she caused any harm. She simply drove off. When the police got there, they were able to get him unharmed out of the car. And as he waited there for the car to get towed and to get transportation back home, the police officers explained to him that it was a good thing that he got pushed into the barrier. As they assessed the damage of the car on the passenger side, they told him if the car had not been pushed into that barrier, it would have spun into the oncoming traffic. He would not have survived. And friends, we all have that story somewhere in our lives, don't we? That time when death seemed to be whispering in our ears, when everything has fallen apart and none of the pieces fit anymore, that fearful diagnosis, either yours or that of a beloved. We've all had that moment of finding that fragility of our lives. And still, more often than not, we forget about our flawed, fragile, finite humanity, that soft animal that is our body, that large brain that leads us astray over and over and over again. And I hope, and I think, that some good measure of why we gather in a community such as this is to keep reminding ourselves of that fundamental reality. And not just to be reminded of it, but to help shape our lives around it. See, it's not just being aware of our fragility or that we will die. It's learning how to welcome it. In her poem, Listening to Grief, Denise Levertov says, and I'm just going to read the whole poem. Ah, grief, I should not treat you like a homeless dog who comes to the back door for a crust, for a meatless bone. I should trust you. I should coax you into the house, give you your own corner, a worn mat to lie on, your own water dish. You think I don't know you've been living under my porch. You long for your real place to be readied before winter comes. Your name, your collar and tag. You need the right to warn off intruders, to consider my house your house, and me your person, and yourself my own dog. Our grief, constant companion to our love, our fragility, knowing that our lives are full of danger, even if we only glimpse it just out of the corner of our eyes sometimes. Our deep vulnerability, dependent always on circumstances that are wildly out of our control. Living in awareness of these realities prod us, I hope, toward a life worth living. Maggie Smith, in our second reading, notes all the truths of this life that she keeps from her children. And at the end, she says, any decent realtor walking you through a real disaster, and I'll note that I changed that word. You can imagine what that might have been. Walking you through a real disaster chirps about good bones. This place could be beautiful. You could make this place beautiful. And that's the thing, isn't it? Remembering that we could make this place beautiful. Remembering what Padre Otuama left us with, so you might as well live. You might as well love. You might as well love. You might as well love. How do you curl your life around the awareness of all this? How do you seek to love promiscuously? how to be endlessly grateful, how to make this place beautiful. What can you do? How do you live open-hearted with a wide welcome to all that comes, no matter how bitter it may be? See, what I know is that I can stand here and say all of these words and still find that it has gotten lost in my life as soon as I begin to fuss with my email or plan a menu for the week or attend a committee meeting or any of those various myriad troubles and tasks that my life contains. So it helps to make a plan. You might, for yourself, your plan, there we go, helps to make a plan. Your plan might be to carry on with those practices that keep you grounded and centered. Anybody have those practices? Some of you, yeah. Or you might try something as simple as writing a gratitude every morning. Or maybe a commitment to keep breathing when life is tense. Or be like Coach Ted Lasso and put up a small sign to remind you day on day. What helps you, I wonder, to stay in touch with what it means to love generously and to welcome that which comes to you? And that's a real question. I'd like to invite you, in our last couple of minutes here, to turn to a neighbor and share with them what it is that you do, what you've found, or what you might want to try. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to find somebody and share. Oh, they're going to do it again. Let's come on back, friends. It still reminds me of the time when we did a Greet Your Neighbor at one congregation that I was serving, and people were just like going at it and talking, and I rang the bell and the chime, big bowl, brass bowl like this. I rang it, and people just kept on talking, and they rang it again, and they just kept on talking, and I rang it again, and they kept on talking, and so I just started hitting it nonstop, and a guy came from the back of the congregation all the way up to the front to say to me, "Do you know how annoying that is?" It's my favorite story from that congregation. Our closing song is How Could Anyone Ever Tell You by Libby Broderick. Please rise as you are willing.
How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Our closing words by Gary Kowalski. And now may the blessings of life be upon us and upon this congregation. May the memories we gather here give us hope for the future. May the love that we share bring strength and joy to our hearts, and the peace of this community be with us until we are together again. Please join me in saying our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish our flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment, or the power of transformation. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Singer-songwriter who has lived in Port Townsend. And we wanted to share this song with you because it is one of those little pocket songs, like all these short songs we've been singing together today, that can help us move toward where we want to go to and take it out of our pocket and remind us. And actually, by the singing of the song, get to the place that the song is asking us to go to. So the words to this song are, I feel peace, deep in the center of my heart, radiating out to the darkest, to the farthest corners of the world. I feel peace. So I was amazed when I sang this with Samara about a month ago that it actually got me from a place of high anxiety to deep peace just by singing it. So let's, I'm going to teach the song, and then we're going to divide it up half and half round, and just let the song work its magic. It goes, I feel peace, deep peace. Try it. I feel peace, deep peace. Deep in the center of my heart, deep in the center of my heart, radiating out to the darkest, radiating out to the darkest, to the farthest corners of the world, to the farthest corners of the world. Let's try it all together. I feel peace, deep peace, deep in the center of my heart, radiating out to the darkest, to the farthest corners of the world. I feel peace, deep peace, deep in the center of my heart, radiating out to the darkest, to the farthest corners of the world. We're going to round it now. I feel peace, deep peace, deep in the center of my heart, radiating out to the darkest, to the farthest corners of my heart. Radiating peace, to the darkest, to the farthest corners of my heart, radiating out to the darkest, to the farthest corners of the world, radiating out to the darkest, to the deep in the center of my heart, radiating out to the darkest, to the farthest corners of my heart, radiating out to the darkest, to the farthest corners of my heart, radiating out to the darkest, to the farthest corners of my heart, radiating out to the darkest, to the farthest corners of the world. I feel peace.